Hello, yeah, I want to specially welcome you to this tutorial. It's a pleasure having you. Okay, so in this video we are going to be designing a flyer, or a very simple and basic flyer, but it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so without further ado, let's get going. Okay, so the first thing we'll be doing now is to what? Of course, we're going to create our documents. Yes, we're going to set our document size. So to do that, I'm going to come back to file. I'm going to click on new. Okay, and the shortcut key is Ctrl N. Okay, so new, and I'm going to click on. We have to name our work, right? So I'm going to click on. I'm going to say flyer. See how to fly. Okay, so for the size we want to choose. Okay, I'm going to come back to prints. Okay, then I'll be choosing A5 for this flyer. A5. Okay, so this is going to talk on in subsequent tutorials. So it's going to talk on how to set the right sizes for your design, how to choose the right sizes, for design, or how to go about the one you want to your design for, that is meant to be sent across various devices, like social media and other platforms, and how to set the right size and the right documents for the ones that are meant to be printed. For in this case, we are designing this flyer is meant to be designed and is meant to be sent across devices. You can send that from one device to one device, that is meant to be displayed on screen. Okay, so not to be printed. So I'll begin with A5. So you can see the size. So let me just go with pixels. So this is the size in pixels, but we're on A5. So just leave everything as this. Okay, I'm going to click on create. So this is what we have. Okay, fantastic. So the next thing we want to do now is to what? Of course, we're going to start designing. That's what we're doing now. We're going to start designing. Absolutely. So I'll come back to my rectangle tool here. I'll right click, then click on ellipse. What do we use ellipse for? We use ellipse to create a circle. Fantastic. So I'm gonna come over here and just make my circle like so, the way I want it to be. Nice and plain. Okay, so the color, the fill, this you can see we have stroke, we have this, and we have this. Look, let me cancel this here. Let me show you that it's more it's gonna be clearer here. Okay, we have fill and we have stroke. So what is fill and the stroke? Stroke is basically stroke is like let's say the border. But you click on the drop down button here and just kind of increase this. Look at what we have. We have a stroke. Now you get what stroke, you get what stroke is and what it actually works for, in case you don't know. So for this stroke, I just want to cancel the stroke. I'm going to click on this color here. I'm going to click on none. Cancelled. We have no stroke now. We have no fill. So the fill is actually the color. That's the color. If I click on the fill and click on any color here, you can see. Fantabulous. So for these, I love this color, but let me just go with, I want to use color blue actually, but I'm thinking this is too light. It's too light. What we do, we just kind of click on, let me click on this box here. You can see, click on this. I can change the color. I can work on the color, make it something like so. Let me see this. This is better. Okay, so once I'm okay with what I have, what I want to do next is towards just kind of adjust this. I'll come back to my move tool. I can move this like so. Here's the arrow key on my button on my keyboard to move it as well. Okay, I think it's cool like this. So the next thing I want to do now is towards, I want to duplicate this layer, this shape. How do I duplicate a shape? There are different ways you can duplicate, different easy and simple ways to duplicate in Photoshop. Number one, I can, while I'm on the layer, I'm on this layer now, the shape layer, the ellipse blue. Okay, I can hold my alt key. While holding the alt key, watch the cursor. Look at, you can see it changes. Let me release it. Hold my alt key, you can see it changes into a black and white arrow. If I should click on it once and drag it down, I have two of this shape. Fantabulous. Ctrl Z to go back, to undo. Ctrl Z or Ctrl Z, whichever way. Ctrl Z to go back. Fine, that's the first way to which you can duplicate. Another way to duplicate a layer in Photoshop is by have the layer here. You can see the layer here. Layer under the layer panel. I can just left click and drag the layer down to the create a new layer icon. Where is the create a new layer icon? It's down here. Look at create a new layer icon. You can see I should drag this layer now and drag it down on top of this, and boom, we have two of these layers. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Ctrl Z to go back to undo. Another way, which is very, very simple, the simplest way for me to duplicate is you just have to click on two keys. Control, by holding my control key and I click on J, we have two of these. Control J, nice. Look at it. Beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? Control Z to undo. So now I've duplicated this layer. What I want to do next is to duplicate the one which is this copy. Let me just name it yellow. Boom. All right, so I want to drag this yellow, because I'll be changing the color. Actually, I want to drag it below this ellipse, but first let me change the color. To change the color, I see this thumbnail here, double click on it and the color box is going to open. So I want a yellow color now. Oops, this I think this is cool. Isn't it cool? I think it's still cool anyways. Just click on OK. So we have the yellow color, right? Then what I want to know is to drag the yellow below. I'm gonna left click and drag. Look as I'm dragging just below the ellipse. Oh, where's the yellow shape? It's gone. It's not gone actually, because it's below. It's behind the blue shape, right? But I should toggle up this blue shape here. You can see the eye icon. I should click on it to toggle it off. Boom. You can see we have the yellow in the yellow shape displaying. But I should on it back. Okay. So what I'll do now is towards. I want to drag this down a little bit, like so. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Have this right here. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is towards, we're doing something interesting now. I want to bring in an image here. Okay, so I'll be going over to where I have my images. Okay, so I'm going to click on file. I'm going to come over to file. I'm going to come over to place embedded. Click on this. So I'll go to where I have my image, the image I want to use here, and this is the image I want to use here. Where's the image I want to use? I think it should be here. Okay, this is the image I want to use. Click on it and click on place. Wow, this is the image I want to use. So what I want to do next is towards, I want to expand this image like so. Click and expand it. Oops. Exactly. So once I'm okay with what I have, what I want to do next is towards just move this a little bit towards the left, like so. Then click on this. Okay, so once I'm done, you can see I'm placing this image on top of this ellipse. So I want this image to disappear into this ellipse. Okay, to this circle, this blue circle. Let me toggle it off. You can see. So how do we do that? Make sure the image is on top of this. Now come back to the image, right click, and we'll click on create clipping mask, and look at what it does. Boom. Look at it. Beautiful. Very easy. Let me go back. Ctrl Z. The image is on top of the shape I want to clip it into. Okay, so I'm gonna right click on the image and click on create clipping mask. Look at what we have. Beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? It's really beautiful. Right. Okay, so once we are done, I think this yellow color, it's not beautiful. I want to try to adjust a little bit. Maybe it should be bright out. Yeah, it's cool now. Okay, let me experiment something. I want to duplicate this yellow button, this yellow layer. Ctrl J. I'm on the layer, right? So after duplicating the layer, I'm gonna bring it below the layer here. I'm gonna just bring it down. I want to change the color of this duplicated one to my blue color. How do I get my blue color? So the blue, okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so that's, you can do that if you want. So fine. So once I'm done, the next thing I want to do now is towards. Start typing. Start typing. Okay. So the first thing is I'm going to go back to my texts. Okay, first I'm going to go back to my tests. So the shortcut key is T. Once you just click on T, it's going to take you to the text 2. It's as simple as that. So I'm gonna click, boom. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna type here is I need to change the font first. Come back to fonts, click on, I want to use Poppins. I want to use Poppins bold, right? Then I want to increase the size of the font. Look at, so we have the T here, okay, T, look at the T, okay, we have, it's currently on 7.01 points, okay, so I want to increase the size of this font, of this, font actually, of this text. So you can see once I hover this T, what happens? An icon displays with two arrows, one facing the right, one facing the left. To increase the size, I just have to click on it and move my cursor, my mouse towards the right. To reduce the size, click on it once and move my cursor towards the left. Click and move it towards the right, and it's getting bigger. Towards the left, it's getting smaller, right? So let me just increase it to my preferred size. Go on, go on, go on, go on. Okay. I think I should use these fonts. Let me try Prime Time. Prime Time. Okay, I'm going to type online. 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 Okay, then I'm going to online. Alright, so I'm going with the black color. Then go back to my move tool. Then I want to make sure everything is aligned in the center, so I want to bring in my ruler. Okay, so this is my ruler here. You can see I have my ruler here. Okay, so if you don't have your ruler here, if you don't have your ruler here, want to show your ruler, you can come back to view. I'll make sure your ruler is on. You can see. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this ruler. I want everything to be, alignment is very important in graphic design. When you're designing, you have to make sure that your design is actually well aligned, well placed. You get? Okay, I think it's cool this way. So the ruler is gonna guide me, of course. So I'm gonna click on this online. I'm gonna move it towards the left like so. Then I'm gonna double click. I need to reduce the size. It's too big. Online 24 is actually cool. All right, then I'm going to duplicate this. Click on this, click on Ctrl J to duplicate it. Ctrl J, and I'm going to move this down like so. So I'm going to double click on it and type in online institutes. Absolutely. Whoa. Okay, so one of the nice is to, I think this thing is, it comes to that. I want to move this, this image and every other thing up a little bit. So what I'll do is that I have to select everything from this image, okay, down to the ellipse. This 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 layer. While holding my shift key, I'm going to click on this so that I can select the four. So I can just use my arrow to move everything up. As you can see, it's moving up. Absolutely. So the next thing I want to do now is to come over to my this layer, this institute and online. Hold my control key, click on online, so the two have been selected, and I'm going to use my arrow key to move these two up simultaneously. All right, so once I'm done, I want to double click on this institute. Now I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to click and see the color box is here and it's black. That's because the text we want to change the color is black. So I'm going to click on the color box, which is black, and I'm going to move my, look at this, look at the icon changes, look at I'm going to move it towards this blue. I want to select this blue color. Okay, I'm going to click on OK and click on check it here. Right, that's it about that. So next thing I want to do now is towards I want to double click on this. Well, let me just leave it. I think the size is cool. I wanted to reduce the size. Okay, so once we are done with that, the next thing is to bring in a text. Wow, I'll come back to my text tool once again, and I'm going to come over here and click on this, and I'll change the font of this. I need to change the fonts. I can use Poppins for this. Poppins. Okay, Poppins bold. Let me use Poppins bold. Okay, and I'm going to write about one. Then is I need to reduce the size to 15. Okay, then I have to change the color to black. Okay, so click on this box, change the color. I'm gonna click on this, then I'm gonna move this towards the left, back to my move to. Make sure you're on the move to. The shortcut to the move to is V, so I'm gonna move this towards the left like so. Okay, let me just say about us. Okay, I'm gonna move this like so towards the left. The next thing I want to do now is to bring in our text, the about us text. Okay, now click on my T to select the text too. I'm gonna come over here and click on this. So what I want next is to what? I already have my text selected, my text, so that it's gonna be easier. I have my text somewhere. I'm gonna go out where I have my text. I'm gonna copy the text down from here to this. So I'm gonna copy it, come back to Photoshop and paste it here. Alright, so what I want now is to highlight the text like so. Highlight the text. So I'm gonna come over to my my fonts. Let me use Montserrat. Then I'm gonna use Montserrat's wow, it's only bold. Let me reduce the size. Let me reduce the size of the text. Just come over here, click and drag it towards the left to 10. Oh, let me see, 10 is cool. Can just move this back to my move tool now. I can move this a little bit towards the right, towards the left rather. Make sure it's well aligned. Then once I'm done, I can as well work on the next thing is what I'm going to duplicate this, Ctrl J. Then I'm going to move this down like so. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on achievements. I'm going to copy the text, Ctrl C, back to Photoshop, Ctrl V, and paste it here, achievements. Okay, then I'm going to. Says Creative Academy is an online institute was established in January 2020 with the aim of teaching and impacting the supported digital skills such as graphic design, web design, video editing, video animation, and so on. Our trainings are carried out in a qualitative, innovative, creative, and unique ways. We don't just focus on teaching these skills, but we also ensure to take our students through how to monetize the skills they have acquired. Fine. So that's the about us. So the achievements now. I'm going to go over to my make sure there's no error there. I'm going to go over to my achievements now. I'm going to copy the text, so it makes your work faster when you have your text somewhere instead of just typing. So when you have everything ready, you just have to copy and paste it, right? So I'm going to come back to my text. I'm going to type in and I'm going to V, Ctrl V. Okay, so I'm going to highlight everything. Actually, I'm going to highlight everything. Then I'm going to reduce the size to. The initial one was 10, right? Okay, so here we are. So once I'm done, I'm just going to back to my move tool. I can move this like so. Alright, so I still have to work on some things here. Actually, I think these institutes and online, I need to move them up a little bit. Okay, then the about us and this text here, with my control key, select the 2. I want to move the 2 up as well. Then the achievements, move the achievement up a little bit. Okay, then this, I'm going to move this up a little bit as well. Okay, I think I still need to work on this more. The size, let me make the size 8. That's just to yes, click on this as well, double click to edit it. Let me make the size 8. Okay, so that's what we have now. So I can now move this a little bit up, the achievement, and this a little bit up as well. Okay, cool. So once I'm done, the next thing I want to do now is to what is to you know, go over to my my shape, click on this, my rectangle tool, right click and click on rectangle tool, and I'm going to just make a rectangle, left click and drag like so. Okay, so I'm going to make the color blue. So I'm going to click on this, cancel the stroke. I'm going to click on the fill and click on this. I want to select this color blue. I'm going to bring in the eyedropper and click on it. So once I click on it, make sure you select the blue color actually. Okay, click on OK. Right, so you can see what we have. So once I'm done, I want to duplicate this shape. I click on Ctrl J to duplicate. I'm going to bring it down like so. Okay, so once I'm okay, I want to duplicate this one as well, this other one. Ctrl J to duplicate this. I'm going to bring it down as well. Okay, and you have to make sure the space in between these is the same. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to what, I want to change the color of this other shape. I'll double click on it on the thumbnail here. So I'm going to click on this yellow shape icon here, so you can see the eyedropper actually appears after the color picker opens. So this icon appears so that you can select color from anywhere. As you can see, you can select color from anywhere like so. Look at, that's how fantastically it works. So I'm gonna select this you know, this yellow color. So once I select the yellow color, so I have these three shapes here. Okay, so now let's quickly use the pen tool. The pen, just want to draw a straight line. Okay, what I want to do now is the pen tool. So I'm just gonna click on this one, then down. So while holding my shift, so that I can have a straight line, holding my shift key, when I click on this, so I have this straight, right? So you can see the stroke is presently on 2. Okay, I'm gonna leave the stroke. I want the stroke for this. So go back to my move tool. So you can see, but I think it's too thin, it's too tiny, right? So I'm gonna click on the pen tool and the shape here. So I'm gonna click on there are different ways you're gonna apply the stroke. Actually, I can just, you know, let me just apply the stroke under the I can double click on the layer, okay, I can come over to stroke here and apply my stroke. So I think it's on 3. I think 3 is cool. Okay, click on 3, then I can just come over here and move the, I use my arrow key to move the shape. You can see now, we can see it's appearing on top of these shapes. I don't want that to happen. So what I'll do is that I'm going to, I still want to adjust this and a little bit down. Okay, then I'm going to bring this as well up a little bit. Okay, so what I'll do next is to click on this pen, this shape that we just created. So I'm going to click on the shape and drag it below these 3, you know, these 3 shapes, so that it doesn't appear on top of them. So you can see now it's now behind the shapes. Okay, so what I want to do next is to what is to go back to my text now. So go to my text. Or let me bring in the icons first. I want to bring in icons here. Okay, so let me just go to where I have my icons. So I have my icons here in Adobe Illustrator. When we get to this part, I will explain everything you need to know about Illustrator. Okay, I'm going to make use of these icons because these icons are SVG icons. Okay, they are vector icons in which you can scale them. No matter how you make them large or small, they're not going to lose their quality. Okay, they're going to maintain their 100% quality. So I'm using these icons. Okay, when we get to this part, when we get to the part of, you know, the Illustrator aspects, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about Illustrator. Understood? All right, so we are good to go. So the first icon I want to use, let me just use let me just look for any icon here anyways. Let me just use this icon. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, I'll come over to edit, copy, edit, paste. Then I'm going to move the icon into Photoshop. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to click on the icon, I'm going to drag it and drop it into Photoshop. So once I have the Photoshop icon down here, it's not displaying. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to bring the icon. So once Photoshop opens, I drag it into Photoshop and I drop the icon like so. Okay, so the icon is now, okay, this is the icon, right? But the icon is it's no, I want a white color. Okay, so what I'll do is that this is the icon, this is the icon layer here. This is over here. If I toggle it off, it's gone. On it, it's on. Okay, so I'm gonna double click to rename it. I'm going to name it GD, graphic design. So I'm going to double click on the layer, double click on the layer, then it's gonna some options are going to pop up. I'm going to click on color overlay. I'll be clicking on color overlay, so you can see it's showing blue. So I'm going to click on this box here after this normal, after the blend mode. Click on the color, and I'm going to move this towards the white. I can also use the color picker. You can see this pen. When I click on this, it tells me it's nice, it changes to white. Then I can just move this. Then I can click on Ctrl T to transform it. I want to make it I want to reduce the size. Ctrl T. Then I'm going to bring my cursor down to the top corner here. I'm going to reduce the size. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to make sure I'm clicking on it. I'm going to bring the icon a little bit down to the side. It's as simple as that, right? Okay, so once we are done with that, next thing I want to do now is to bring in the other icon I want to use. Okay, go back to my Illustrator. Next icon I want to use is this. Let me just look for one icon to use. Okay, let me use this one. So this one, I'm going to come back to my edit, the same process, copy, edit, paste. Once again, you don't have to know what it is for now. When we get to this part, I will explain everything in details. Okay, so I'm going to move this into my Photoshop. All right, then I'm going to reduce the size. Okay, bring it here. Then I want to change the color. Double click on it. Let me just name this WD, which is web design. So I'm going to double click on the layer. So once I double click on the layer, then I'm going to click on color overlay. So I have my white. Click on OK. Ctrl T. Okay, I'm going to reduce the size a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to bring it like so. Make it smaller. So I can use the arrow key on my keyboard to adjust it. Then the third icon I want to bring in now is let me just use this icon over here. Let me use, which one can I use here? Let me just use the, okay, let me use, so this one looks like a video. So I'll come back to my edits, copy, edits, paste. I'm gonna drag it to Photoshop. It opens. I bring it in to my preferred position. I'm gonna reduce the size like so. Then I'm gonna rename this now. I'm gonna name it VD. Okay, then I'm going to bring the icon. I'm gonna bring the icon. Oh god. Oh, let me go back. Let me just, there's a mix up there. Drag it into Photoshop and bring it here. Can just reduce the size. Okay, I'm going to drag the icon on top of this. So I'm going to I want to name it and named it VD. Okay, I'll double click on the layer and click on color overlay, white. Okay, then I can click on Ctrl T to transform that is to it. I want to reduce the size a little bit more. Okay, then I'm going to move this with my arrow key. I'm going to use my arrow key to nudge it to the right position. Okay, so once I'm done, the next thing is to come out to my text tool now. I want to click on this part. I'm going to type in let me type in graphic design. So I'm going to highlight this. So I'm going to increase the size like so. You can see the cursor here. I can click on it and move it towards the right. I think I want to use 12 for this. 12. Now click on this. So once I'm done, I can just move it. I can use the arrow key on my keyboard to nudge it towards the right. So make sure you're on the move tool to do that. So I'm going to move this towards the right. but there's something here actually. I want to move all of these a little bit towards the right. So what I'll do is or let me just kind of reduce the size of this. I make this 11 and let's see. Okay, let's make it 11. So I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna nudge it like so. Graphic design, I'm gonna click on this, duplicate it, Ctrl J. I'm gonna move it down. Okay, double click on it. I'm gonna highlight this graphic. I'm gonna put this web design. Okay, then I can just move this a little bit as well. Now come to Ctrl J, duplicate this one as well, the web design. I'm gonna move it down. Double click. I'm gonna type in video editing. Of course, it's not limited to this, but let me just highlight these three for now. So then I'm going to move this down like so. I can use my ruler to make sure everything is well aligned. So I'm going to just adjust this a little bit. Okay, just return my ruler. Okay, so make sure everything is aligned, everything is well placed. So the next thing I'll do now is to what? We are almost done. The next thing I want to do now is to go over to my rectangle tool. Make sure you're in the rectangle tool. So I'm going to just draw a rectangle like so. Below this. So the stroke, I don't want any stroke for this. I'm going to cancel the stroke. Then the fill, I'm going to select this, the blue color we've been using before. Okay, so that's that about that. So once we are done, the next thing to do now is to go out to my text tool. So I'm going to click on Control and the plus key on your keyboard. The plus key, I want to zoom in. Control the plus key. You can as well click on the zoom tool here and just call the Z and what, and just zoom in like so. And I can click on the space, button on your keyboard, hold it and use your cursor to move it like so, so you can have a proper view. So once I'm on this, I can come over to my text tool. Before that, I want to go over to I want to bring in an icon once again. I'll go back to where I have my icons. So the call icon, I'm gonna edit, copy, edit, paste. Then I'm gonna move this into Photoshop like so, then drag it to this side. Then I'm going to reduce the size like so, reduce the size and bring it down, reduce the size. Okay, bring it down. I'm gonna I want to change the color. Let me name this color. Okay, then the color, double click on the layer. So once I double click on the layer, I'm gonna go over to color overlay and I have my white color. Okay, I can just move this a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my text tool now, type in my text. Okay, and that's my phone number. +234 825092. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna click on this and I go back to my move tool. I can move this to position, but I think I need to reduce the size of this call icon. Ctrl T. I'm going to reduce the size to a little bit more. Okay, so once I'm done, I can just bring this to this side like so. I can use the arrow key on my keyboard to nudge it, okay, to the right position. And I can just double click on it. Okay, then I want to change the color actually to white. So once I double click on it, once I highlight it, basically, okay, I can come over here. You can see it's on black. Click on the box, and I can just use my eyedropper to click to choose my color. Yeah, okay. Then click on OK. So that's what we have. I can use my this nudge a little bit. Okay, so the next one now is to go back to bring in another icon, which is the browse icon. Then edit, copy, edit, paste. Then I'm going to move this into Photoshop once again. Okay, then I can reduce the size like so, bring it down here, reduce the size. Okay, then I'm going to change the color. Let me name this browse. Okay, then I'm going to double click on the layer. So I go right to my color overlay. Now I have my white color. I click on OK. Now I'm going to bring this a little bit towards the side. Then I'm going to click on this. I want to duplicate this. So basically, let me just go back to my text tool. I'm duplicating my text tool. Then I'm going to click on this. Then I want to type in okay, so I'm just gonna move this, go back to my move tool, and the shortcut key to the move tool is V. Remember V. The shortcut key, get to know how to use the shortcut key will make your work to be faster and easier. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna move this towards this side like so. Okay, so I'm gonna move this as well down here. Okay, so once I'm done with what I have, I can click on Ctrl O to have the proper view. Look at what we have. Okay, so once I'm done, I think everything is cool. The next thing I want to work on now is the logo. Okay, so the logo, I'm just gonna cover to my, let me just improvise, just come over here, click on the circle, and so I'm on the ellipse tool, so I'm gonna hold my shift key so that I can have a proper circle. Shift key, then draw the circle like so. Okay, then I'm gonna stroke none. Then the fill, I want this yellow color here. I'm gonna click on this. This is the color here, I think. Okay, so what I want next is I want to duplicate this circle. Okay, you can bring it to Ctrl J to duplicate. Then I'm going to move this towards the side. Okay, so I want to make this color white. So this is the circle here. Let me just say this one is yellow. Why? Y stands for yellow. Then this other one is white. W stands for white. I'm going to click on the thumbnail here. You can see this thumbnail here. I'm going to double click on it, so the color box opens. That I can use the eyedropper to select the white color I want. Okay, then I'm going to duplicate this again, Ctrl J, and I'm going to name this let me name this blue. Let me use blue for this. Okay, so I'm gonna move the blue one out, and I'm gonna change the color as well. So double click on this thumbnail here. So I'm gonna select this blue color here. All right, so once I'm done like so, what I'll do next is that I'm gonna click on I'm gonna bring the white below this yellow. So I'm gonna click on the yellow. I want to reduce the opacity of the yellow. You can see the opacity. If I should move it towards the left, look at, watch carefully, watch the opacity. Look at, so if now it's on 50, but I want it to be like on 80% exactly. So I'm going to click on the blue as well and reduce the opacity as well to the 80%. 80%. So what I'll do next is I'll click on this, on the yellow and the blue, move it on top. Click on the blue, move it on top. So once I'm okay with what I have, okay, I can just kind of select the three layers. Select the three layers by holding your control and clicking on them. And I want to group them. I'll click on Ctrl G to group. Then I'll right click on them and click on merge group. Now I can move them as a unit towards the side. Okay, the next thing is to come over to my text tool and click on this and type in so I want to use the font I want to use here is Evora board. So I want to type in creativity. Okay, and I'm gonna click on OK, and I can move this a little bit further up. So this shape here, Ctrl T, I want to transform the shape. I want to make it smaller a little bit. So Ctrl T to transform. I'm going to make it smaller, like so. Then I'm going to bring this creativity. Okay, now duplicate the creativity. Ctrl J to duplicate. I'm going to bring it down, like so. I want to add a little bit of contrast. Then I'll double click on it and type in Academy. Then I'll highlight the Academy, like so. And I'll come back to this. You can see the color. Click on it. I want to use the yellow color here. And click on OK. So you can see what we have. Creativity Academy. So that's it about. I can kind of click on this. Double click on it to highlight it. I want to increase the size to like. Let me make it 12. Enter. Okay, I think 12 is cool. So I'm gonna highlight the Academy as well and make it 12 as well. Enter. Okay, so once I'm okay with what I have, everything is well aligned, right? I'm gonna move my ruler back so I can just kind of zoom in and see what we have here. Look at, then it's beautiful. So it's just a basic flyer anyways. So now it's time to save our work. So I'll come over to file to save. We'll come over to file, then I'll click on save as, then just click on flyer. Okay, share out a flyer. Okay, now change the format to JPEG. I'll click on save. Okay, all right, so that is that about that. We are done with our flyer design, and that is really amazing, right? So thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.